What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. I've got a video for you that is not really a review. It's not an unboxing. It's more like a first impressions and some thoughts, maybe. So, here we go. This is, yes, a Surefire. And I know I've done other videos with my thoughts on AA's versus 123A batteries and all those kind of things. And you might think that I wouldn't be a fan of Surefire, but I very much am. Surefire's kind of the light brand that got me into lights. I love Surefire flashlights. I've had a few. And so I'm very, 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 very excited to see this guy. And I will explain why. This is, whoops, upside down. This is the Backup MV. If you guys are looking for this light, make sure it says MV, okay? Max Vision or something like that. It's a wider beam. It's not quite so, laser focused, I guess. But anyway, why is this such an excitement to me? So, I am a Surefire fan. Yes, they have not as common batteries, but I just have a special soft spot for Surefires. And my very first Surefire, I believe, was this guy. There you go. He is the E1L Outdoorsman. Now, this goes way back, okay? This guy's max beam, or high lumens, is 45 lumens, okay? 45 and 5 is what this guy runs, and 98% of the time, I use this on 5 lumens. No problem. So, 45, 400. 45, 400. They've come a long way in their light technologies. Now, this has not been a very carry light for me, but this is my most used light. And the way I say that is, or reason I say that is because this is not a light that I carry every day like I would this guy, or maybe this guy, or this guy. For one reason, this pocket clip was, I really don't know how they put this together and shipped it. I mean, they shouldn't have included a pocket clip. I mean, if you look at this, it's like the guys that made the body were in charge of making the clip, and they didn't talk to the guys that made the head of the flashlight. And so they looked at the body of the clip, or the body like this, and they said, where should we put the clip? Well, for deep carry, we should put it right here at the edge, and everybody's going to love it. And so they did that. They send all the parts to the guy putting it together. He puts the tail cap on. He screws on the head of the light, and he's like, huh, that's kind of stupid. Ship it. Okay? You put this in your pocket, and it's like, this sticks out. And why? It's like the heaviest part of the light is sticking out of your pocket. And I'm sure there's a military police reason where it was clipped on a vest or I don't know. Surefires are not necessarily meant for soccer moms and everyday carry. They are geared more towards your military police stuff, but that to me really kept me from carrying any Surefires until they fixed this clip, which wasn't a couple years ago. They finally switched over. I think Olight kind of led the way. This is where I remember seeing this clip first. I'm not sure who made it, but now they're getting it. Okay, deep carry. They got the heavy head into the pocket. Finally, I don't know why you would put the head, just to make sense. But, so, that being said, this is one of my most used, this is one of my favorite go-to lights around the house. I don't carry it, but it gets used more than any of my others. So, some of you, I don't know if I had videos on this, but I used to own an E2DL. I have a 6PX that I keep in my bag, and I had an E1DL. So the E2DL was kind of my everyday carry, although it, I think, had the bum clip design. And so I just throw it in my pocket, and then I got to where it's too big of a light. I didn't need it. It was overkill. It had the really sharp, bezel on it. I'm not beating people with my light. So I got rid of that, and I got the E1DL. It was this size, but it was still very sharp. The head was bigger. It had a sharper tail cap piece, and it wasn't really doing it for me either. And I would look through Surefire's catalog often and say, I really, really want to find a Surefire that I think is capable of everyday carry from my perspective as somebody working, not police and military, you know, the soccer moms, whatever. and often I would look and I just wouldn't find a light that really stood out. They've got all kinds of different things. They've got keychain lights. They've got a light that looks just like this, and I actually own it. It's the black version, the Titan, and it's on my keychain. But they didn't really have any regular lights that just fit the bill for me for a long time. They may, you know, every year or so, I look through their stuff. It's like, nope, there's just nothing really there grabbing me. And that's fine, because Surefire is not in the game with Olight. They're not playing the same game. So Surefire is geared more towards your police and military, and they're not trying to squeeze out, you know, 10,000 lumens. They're not trying to give you memory modes and all these things that people like. You know, they are simply making a US-made flashlight that is literally going to work, and it's going to do 1 or 2 modes, and that's it. And if you don't want that, then you don't buy their light. And they don't care, and that's perfectly fine. And so I went for a while with just this guy in my 6PX, and then I ran across this, and honestly, I really just fell in love. I don't normally find something and buy it quite so quickly, but this was one that, because it is just a modern version of one of my favorite, most used flashlights, and it incorporates things that make it now carryable, this nice, you know, kind of contoured head. Like, I just really, really fell in love with it, and I've been carrying it for the week, and it's been great. So that's kind of my take on Surefire and where they're going. I think this could be a soccer mom, everyday carry, you know, whatever job you're doing. This could function as an everyday carry flashlight with one caveat in particular. Now, that caveat is, so it's 2 mode. Both of these are 2 modes. Surefires generally come in 1 or 2 mode lights. No memory mode, no fancy multi-click double tap, long press, you know, nothing like this guy's capable of. And they do that for simplicity, and that makes sense. But this right here is 5 lumens and 45 lumens. It's 5 first, 45 second. So with this guy, you can, and with most Surefires, with the button click configuration, you can half press it, and you can kind of cycle through your modes, okay? And then, of course, you can click it, and it'll stay there. This guy, however, is 400 and then 5, okay? Now, most people that need a flashlight don't need 400 lumens, so having 400 first can be a deterrent to some people. I can see where that would be kind of a turnoff, you know, and it is to some degree. However, you got to look at it from how Surefire views a flashlight, and it is more of a defensive tool that has the capability of looking in the van or your truck for that thing you dropped behind the seat, okay? And, you know, that's something you have to determine which way you want to go. If you want something that will give you moonlight for, you know, 50 years, whatever they are now, I mean, then you're going to want a light like this. And there are a lot of reasons why I would say something like the S1R from Olight would be a better everyday carry light for the average person. Because again, there's so many options, the magnetic charging, the multiple modes, you still have like double tap and it's insanely bright, or whatever the button combo is for your brand XYZ. You know, you're going to get a lot more out of a light with other brands. You're going to get AA batteries, which are more common. You can pick them up at the store. They don't cost an arm and a leg, whereas Surefire 123As do. You know, there's things that set Surefire into a different league and a different class. Now, if you're okay with that and you want that kind of a light, then this may just be the best light they've made in a long time, in my opinion. And they've made a lot of good lights, but this This carries well. It's super bright. I love the, like, it just looks really cool. I don't know what, you know, it just looks good. It's great. And it's a decent, you know, decently smaller light. It doesn't compare to that. So I am very happy they made this, and I really hope they continue to make at least one flashlight that meets and falls into this category, because for so long I just couldn't find one that really piqued my interest and kind of filled the EDC role for me. So there you go. That's basically, you know, this isn't a long-term review. This is just an initial thoughts, ideas, concepts, whatever you want to call it, and you guys can do with that as you will. Hopefully all of these come in view, so you can see some sizes. But these are some of my lights I use. I carry this. I have been carrying this little AAA light for a while. It's just so hard not to carry this. I mean, it's small, it's a AAA, and it's got this deep carry little clip. This is the Prometheus. It'll run you about 80 bucks, and then this clip will run you another 20 something. So it's insanely expensive. It's almost as expensive as the Surefire by the time it's all said and done. But it does carry super well, and in my day-to-day job, I just don't really need this crazy outputs, but that is what it is. I also like the Olights. Zebra light, I mean, if you're anybody into flashlights, you know Zebra light. They're arguably one of the best lights in the world. I don't know, whatever you want to say. They're pretty sweet lights. But this is made in the U.S. A lot of this isn't. Yeah, I don't know if any of these are. So there is that as well. So keep that in mind. But there you go, guys. Quick little video for you on this new flashlight. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I highly recommend it based on my initial impressions. And just remember, if you're looking for it, make sure it's the version with the MV, the Max Vision beam. It's not quite so spotty, okay? So there you go. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.